What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
and today we're going to ask you guys questions because we're going to be answering your questions with our questions.
Yes, question upon question.
And welcome to another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Arturo Ponce has done. He asks, are the normal Space Marines going to be slowly removed and completely replaced with Primaris? Is this going to be like the next edition of the game? So like 10th edition, right?
Yeah, 10th edition. So before we get into that question, let me tell you the rumors about 10th edition. So currently we have the Arcs of Omen campaign / new storyline in 40K, and there's going to be 5 books in it. So there's going to be a book in, obviously, January, February, March, April, May, and then rumor has it June is when 10th edition drops.
Yeah.
So we've got about 5-6 months until this new edition comes out, which is interesting because we're getting like a Space Marine version 2 rulebook and World Eaters and Angron before the rules come out. So that's just a way for GW to say, here, if you want to play these right now, buy these new rules, and then you're going to have to re-buy them again to know how to play 10th edition.
Because that's what GW does.
Yeah, money.
They're sneaky sneaks.
But anyway, let's continue on with your question.
The answer to it is like no, right? In the lore, Firstborn Marines, they don't live indefinitely, but the age of a Space Marine is really, really long. 500 is Dante, right?
Oh, more than that.
Is it 5,000?
Something like that.
It's 5 something.
Yeah.
It's not like 50,000.
Because he was fighting during like the era of like the heresy and stuff like that.
Was he really? Dante?
I think so, and like near the end of it or something like that.
Damn. Yeah. But that's so he is considered, has he crossed the Rubicon yet?
No, regular.
So he's considered a firstborn, and in that same vein, there will be other firstborns that will continue fighting on until they're completely gone. But there is no more firstborns being created. So eventually, yes, lore-wise, eventually there will only be dreadnoughts left for firstborn Marines.
For firstborn, yeah. And at that case, it kind of doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they already even have Primaris dreadnoughts, too.
Yeah.
So.
And then also, like, there's going to be the addition of Marnie's Calgar crossed the Rubicon, Ragnar Blackmane crossed the Rubicon. So you can have an older Space Marine or a firstborn cross the Rubicon too. Yeah. So eventually, yes. Now, tabletop wise, I don't think they're going to get rid of the stat line.
No, I don't.
I hope not.
Yeah, but I mean, because 10th edition, when it comes out, they're going to shift stuff around a bit, especially since it's the Big 10. Right. Like, they're going to do something crazy for it. I don't think it will be something too like far out there that it's going to like cause people to not play the game. Right. But I think it will be something that's very different than what we're used to. Yeah,
and we haven't really seen that too much. GW seldom gets rid of whole lines, because that would be an entire line of firstborn.
Yeah.
And for their most popular faction, I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, because you have so many like OGs that have like the original Space Marines, and that's basically GW giving them a slap in the face saying, we don't like you supporting us back then. You got to support us now.
Exactly.
Because now they got to basically rebuy their whole army again.
Yeah. Good question. Let's move on.
This one is by Hamilton9404. Hey guys, huge fan of your vids. Prop to you for all the great work. My question is, well, it's more of a theory regarding the interconnectedness of 40K to other sci-fi films and TV universes. You've done videos in the past on this regarding Dune and Event Horizon, which I agree could all make sense. So, here goes. I always figured that a Starship Trooper is connected to the 40K universe, existing at a point after Event Horizon, the Alien, the Blade Runner franchise, etc. And they're kind of closer to the beginnings of the golden age of technology, the point where humanity has unified and began its expansion into space. And then you continue on for a long time.
And yeah, I think for the most part, you can twist the narrative or like the plots of those movies to fit 40K because you are dealing with the golden age of technology, and the golden age of technology or the dark age of technology is a mystery.
Yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi aspects to it, which we've seen in thousands of movies. You could easily just say that the xenomorphs are a splinter of the hive mind of the Tyranids. You could even say that Judge Dredd takes place in a world, like a hive world and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, all these franchises and stuff like that, the GW has taken ideas or outright used in entire storylines for their own IP.
So I think it's interesting to like figure out like, is it GW stealing from them or them stealing from GW?
And the answer is yes.
But
I mean, I think we knew that StarCraft was supposed to be a 40K IP,
Yep.
and then at the very last minute they pulled out, and that's why there's a lot of similarities between StarCraft and Warhammer.
yeah.
Same thing with Dune. I think Dune came out first, and that's where a lot of inspiration or a lot of stuff was stolen and used for 40K.
The Emperor.
The Emperor, Navigators, Zendaya.
Yeah. Especially Zendaya.
Yeah.
Good question. Next one. I have one from DeFool06. Which of the two groups of Super Astartes bearing the actual gene seed of the Emperor will be corrupted by chaos first? The Grey Knights or the Custodes? It is only a matter of time before both are impossible. Or it's only a matter of time for both, or it's impossible for both? Question mark. So, like, do we think that there's going to be corruption within the Grey Knights or in the Adeptus Custodes, and which ones are going to be corrupted first? Also, the Adeptus Custodes don't have the gene seed of the Emperor, do they?
No, it's rumored that they are literally like beings just that have been like augmented, but there's no actual gene seed implantation process in it. They're not Space Marines. Because in order for them to have gene seed, they have to be Space Marines, and they are not.
Right. We have a 40 Facts video on like the difference between Space Marines and Adeptus Custodes, and from what I remember, Adeptus Custodes begin that indoctrination and that process at birth.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, they're different. But I do think that the Grey Knights have been corrupted first, right?
Well, so far, technically, officially, nothing. They're incorruptible, and nothing has been able to sway them one way or another. However, it is rumored that there is a Silver Knight of Slaanesh that is indeed a Grey Knight that has fallen to Slaanesh's of lore. Whether that is Drago or some other Grey Knight is yet to be confirmed. But yeah, rumor has it that there is some type of corruption occurring.
Right.
And it's like, if one can be corrupted, then that leads the question that can more be corrupted, and probably.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they're all as pure as possible. And that may be because they hold the gene seed of the Emperor.
You're squeaky clean.
Mm-hmm.
Squeaky, squeaky.
So between the two, who can be corrupted first? Probably the Grey Knights. And I don't see the Custodes being corrupted at all.
No.
No, they were created, augmented, and basically are the shield of the Emperor. Nothing can get through them.
Right. Next question comes from Levi. Is it possible to develop a virus or a bioweapon that is capable of killing off or preventing the reproduction of orcs? It's possible to create it, but the success of that virus is probably not going to spread. The orcs, the old ones biologically engineered them to be very, very resilient. If they have a group of orcs who have been corrupted by chaos, corrupted by a virus, corrupted by a bioweapon, they shake it off. The greenskins are the toughest, meanest, greenest race in the galaxy, and they can brush off even the viruses of Nurgle.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy to even conceive of. An immaterial virus that is concocted in the warp, put into real space to basically just like corrupt you, and these guys go like, nah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because of their like bio, like their actual like creation, like the way they are made, or do you think it's the Gork and Mork at play?
In that situation, I think it's the biology. The biology, probably even the same biology that turned the Krork or devolved the Krork from to the orcs, and not devolved, but just like allowed them to take control, like the regular orcs. Yeah. Check out our 40 Facts on the origin of the orcs, or 40 Facts on the Brain Boys. That explains a little bit more. But it could be possible that it's like Gork and Mork at play. Maybe.
Yeah. The thing, though, is like Gork and Mork aren't really known for like fighting off stuff like that. If anything, it's like might makes right. Cunningly brutal, brutally cunning. Like, what does that have to do with like healing and stuff like that?
Well, might makes right is like the might of the biology of the orcs.
I guess.
Like if an orc believes that like this virus isn't gonna take me down, they won't take him down.
Yeah, because I guess might makes right. So it's like this disease is gonna like slow them down and make them slower and weaker. Nah, they need to be the best they can be. So it's like, get this, muck off me. I'm here to fight.
Which also, on the other end, it's like if a tough orc who, because when COVID was going around, there was a time where like a lot of people around me they had COVID, but I wouldn't get COVID, and I was with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were in the house.
Right, because might makes right.
Because I'm mighty.
Yeah.
So in that situation, if we were orcs, I would just kill the ones infected with COVID, because that's what orcs do.
Mm-hmm.
If they see an odd boy that's like not your standard odd boy, they kill him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then spores, and then you get more orcs.
Exactly. Last question.
Richard Sekuli. Do the Admech have any mentions or anything in their lore as to who Vashtorr may be?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, so I feel like Vashtorr is a fairly recent addition to the lore, and most of the established lore for like the Admech, the Mechanicum, Mars, or anything like that doesn't have anything about Vashtorr per se. You'll never see Vashtorr hidden in some like little blurb or excerpt because he didn't exist.
Right.
So the closest thing we have to that is, yes, the Machine God, the Omnissiah. Maybe they'll come out that there was a secret cult of Vashtorr or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
A cult of the Arkifane or something. But yeah, we haven't seen anything like that. We'll probably get more information once the third book of the Arcs of Omen comes out, because that one's all about Vashtorr. So we'll see something there. It's probably more Dark Mechanicus type things.
If we get a codex for Dark Mechanicus and then 3 or 2 months later we get a new edition, damn, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think GW would do that. They would announce it now if we're gonna get models and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they'll give us some. Well, for sure, we'll get a model for Vashtorr.
Right.
It's been seen, and then once 10th edition drops, then they'll probably get the. Well, I mean, I don't know, because we did get a whole new playable faction with the Leagues of Voltan.
Yeah.
And we had maybe like 6-8 months to play with them before a new edition comes out.
Well, yeah, but and they were teased months
Yeah, I guess so.
in advance. Like not even months, because I think it was April Fools that like they pretended, but no, it was true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. It's been the Sound Alchemist,
Gershwan.
and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom